I'm going to talk about the use of EndNote Web in the collection of information from a literature review you might be doing. The first thing to do is just to search for EndNote Web on Google and go to the website. And if you don't have one, create your free account. After you've done that, you can type in your username and your password and log in. And you'll get to the basic first page. I already have information in here. You might or might not have information in here. If not, the very first thing you want to start with is going to the Collect tab here and choosing a database. And you can either enter a reference manually or import references from another source. However, what I like to do is to do an online search, and you choose a database. So first you have to select favorites. And I found through a little bit of trial and error that Web of Science is the best one that the Forest Service has access to. So once you've selected this, added it to your favorites, you then select it in this drop-down menu. And after you hit connect, you can begin your search. So let's say that I know that I'm going to be interested in doing a search on data on LiDAR, that have LiDAR in the title, for example. You can also paste in a title that you might have from some other source, a specific title you're interested in. As you might expect, with a term as broad as LiDAR, I have a lot of returns here, and it's continuing to search as we go here. Point is, I might find one that looks good, or a specific one I've been looking for, and there's two things you might want to do. You might want to just look at the full text first, but if you know you want to add it to your reference database, you'll click here to select it, and then you will add it to a group. Now you might not have any groups, so what you need to do at the bottom of the drop-down, there's a choice for new group, and you'll name a new group. And that group might be associated with a specific topic or a specific paper that you're writing. So in this example, I might have added that article to my remote sensing group. I have some other groups listed over here as well. Once it's in there, you can click on the link and start to edit the research notes. So once you've clicked on it, you get a bunch of these fields. These fields are like the database associated with that individual record. And at the very bottom, you'll see research notes. So I might type something interesting in here that's going to help me remember what it is. It'll help me remember that I read it, and just give me a little brief customized description of what the paper might be useful for, or whatever else I want to put in here. You can also enter keywords or edit the keywords that come along with the paper. So once it's in there, you can do all sorts of different things to manage your records. You can search in records and search in specific fields. The point of EndNote is to be able to format a list of selected references and into a format which is appropriate for the journal. So because it has this record saved in a database format, it can actually format the specific fields in such a way that it spits out the references formatted to your specific needs. However, one more feature that I find extremely useful in terms of understanding and remembering what you've already read and getting a quick summary all in one place of what you did is to export the bibliography, is what they call it, with just the title, author, and your research notes. And you do that as follows. First, you go to the Format tab. And you might have a specific group saved. You can choose from a number of styles, but if you want just the research notes and the title and the author, you will choose an annotated one. I choose APA 5th annotated, use the HTML format, and you can save it. And you can see when you open the file that I have the author's name, the reference, and I also have my research notes following the one where I entered research notes. And I find that extremely useful when I want to look at all the papers that I've read and scan through or search through a single document that might have some keywords, or quickly refer to something I remember reading but I'm not exactly sure what it was. I find this very efficient and useful. As you can imagine, if you had the correct bibliographic reference for your journal, you don't have to type in such an awkward way the literature cited like you normally do. It has a number of other really useful things. You can download a plugin for Microsoft Word so that it actually interacts with Word. So every time you go to Word, you can insert things directly off the internet right into your Word document. You can upload a paper and it'll format the different sources, and you just have to experiment with all the options. There is another tool as well that allows you to download a little shortcut which you can put on inside Internet Explorer or Chrome, and if you're looking at a journal article on your web page, you hit the capture reference button and it opens up EndNote Web, and as best as it can, it fills in the blank EndNote Web fields. Sometimes it doesn't do it completely correctly, but it does speed up the process of typing in a new reference. Anyway, that's all.